Story goes back a bit, doesn't it? What's the significant age that you think represents the beginning of the troubles for you?
I think it was when I moved onto a housing estate in Newcastle, where the majority of the lads on the estate were older than me, so I started knocking about with them, and most of them were involved in crime, and I sort of like tagged along, you could say, and ended up doing what them were doing, and that's how I've ended up.
What age were you when you moved onto the estate?
About 9, 10.
Right. So you got involved in messing around with cars, or?
Started off shoplifting,
Mm-hmm.
and moved on to burgling people's sheds for electrical tools, and then it moved on to burgling people's houses.
What did it feel like if you just think back to being 11, 12, 13, moving through those layers?
I never really thought about it until I've come to prison, and I've had time to reflect on what I've done and think about the things that I've done wrong in life and the victims that I've left behind. When I was out there, I never thought, I just took every day as it come. I never thought about what I was doing. I didn't even realise I had progressed through crime like that until I've actually been in prison and
Is there
thought
something
about
that
it.
you think might have made you stop and question?
I think probably if I knew more about where my life was going, if someone had sat us down properly and talked to us and said, look, Brett, carry on the way you're going, you're going to be in and out of prison all your life, or you're going to end up killing someone, or you could end up dead yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever done that with us, even though me family, they tried their best by grounding us and stopping me pocket money and things like that, but there was no
So, what they grounded you? What age was this happening?
from the age of, I'd say, 11, 12, 13.
Right. So you were quite a handful.
Yeah, definitely. I've been kicked out of school a few times. My education was poor.
Did that make you feel proud to be kicked out of school at that point?
It did at the time, yeah, because I thought I was clever, out with on the streets all day with the lads, committing crime. Mate, I had money in my pocket.
And what's your interpretation of that now?
Well, now I look back and I think I've done all my education in prison, and uh, the lifestyle I was living at the time I thought was clever, but look where it's led to. It's led to me serving a life sentence and me leaving a lot of people victims behind, and it's not until it's cost a man his life for me to realise I'd done all that.
What do you think about at nights, in those dark hours in the middle of the night, about the guy who lost his life?
I don't think there's a day goes by when I don't think about what I've done. It's hard, do you know what I mean? Because I never classed myself as a murderer. When you're a kid, you read things in the papers, you think, look at this person, yeah, he's killed someone, he must be mad in the head, or he must be something the matter with him. I didn't realise how easy it could happen. I took a knife out with us and never stopped to think that I would kill someone. Even though I had a knife with us, I never thought about the consequences. And I never intended to kill anyone. But because I didn't stop and think, and I found myself in a situation where I was losing a fight and I panicked, I ended up pulling a knife out and killing someone. And that's something I have to think about every day. And my family, they're not bad people, do you know what I mean? And them have to live with the fact that them have got a son who's a convicted murderer. And I hate that, do you know what I mean? I don't like my family being, um, what you could say is like the parents of a murderer. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not a bad person, but I did make mistakes in life, and it's it's cost a man his life for me to realise that I was going the wrong way in life, and I wish it hadn't have come to that. I wish I had have realised the lifestyle I was living sooner rather than later.
So by 17 you were carrying a knife. How did you get to carry a knife?
I think it's basically other people were carrying them. I thought I'd carry them. Sometimes I'd carry them when I was pinching cars so I could cut the wires on the cars. And I think some days I didn't think about it. It was just pick up a knife, put it in your pocket.
What did you
and
choose?
Just feel.
What kind of knife did you carry?
On the night that I took someone's life, it was just an ordinary kitchen knife. And the reason I had that knife that night is because I was going out to pinch a car.
How did you carry it?
In my waistband and my pants. And
How long was the blade of the knife?
I think it was about 6 inches long.
Oh, yeah.
So, but like I say, I never ever thought if I got in a situation, if I had a knife on us, what would I do with it? I think most young people don't, do you know what I mean? I think they just think, I've got a knife, I feel safer with it, I'll show it off to my friends, I feel good, I feel clever. But the true reality is, look what it leads to, do you know what I mean? It leads to people losing loved ones, young kids getting lifed off in prison, and
Would you like to tell the story of the incident?
I was out one night. I'd been drinking throughout the day. I'd went to a party. Me and a friend decided to go out and pinch a car. And on the way to pinch a car, I got in an argument with a man, and a few words were exchanged, and a scuffle broke out. And during the scuffle, I ended up pulling a knife out and stabbing the man. One of the wounds hit a main artery in his leg.
Did you deliberately stab him in the leg? Well, that was just
how it happened. I lashed out, not even thinking where the knife was going, and as soon as the man let go of us, I ran away. And it wasn't until the next day that I heard on the news that he had died. And I handed himself into a local police station, and
straight away?
After speaking to a solicitor and finding out if it was exactly the same person who I'd been fighting with, and as soon as I found out that it was in the same street, I knew that it must have been me, so I handed myself in, and to tell us that the man had died and was through me, and I ended up getting a life sentence for it.
Did you decide by yourself that you would go to the police station?
Yeah. I wanted to do it anyway because at the time I didn't think it was my fault that I'd done it, do you know what I mean? I thought it was more of a self-defence, and that I'd done it more out of panic. But once I got to the police station, I denied what I'd done, and I said I was there when it happened, but I didn't do it. And I think I was more frightened of what my mum and dad would say to us, knowing that I'd killed someone. I didn't want them to know I'd done it. I admitted being there, but I didn't tell them that I'd done it. And it took us 2 years to come to terms with and actually tell them the truth that I'd done it. And
2 years?
Yeah.
But by then you were in jail?
Yeah. They stuck by us right throughout. And when I come to tell them, they already knew in a way that I'd done it, but they just wanted to hear it from me.